Okay, welcome to Mr. Ben Coaching Wednesday Watts. Okay, I thought I'd just talk to you a bit today, which I'm sure you know some of these, but some of you will be like, oh, I didn't think of that, on mistakes to avoid with your training. I'm a coach, but I'm not going to lie about it. I've made so many mistakes of training since I was a kid all the way up to now. You learn from mistakes. You've heard this so many times, but you do learn from mistakes, and I try and pass on the mistakes I've made to people, saying, look, this is what I've made, don't follow me in the footsteps, go this way instead. So, first of all, I think the most important mistake to avoid is, unless you're a professional cyclist, we get out of bed and we cycle, or run, or swim, or do triathlon for one thing, because we love the competitive edge of the sport. It makes us feel good, we know it's good for the body, that's the key thing. If you start taking it so seriously and you lose that enjoyment, that's the massive biggest mistake you can make. Okay? If you're a paid cyclist, yes, or a paid triathlete, there's days when it's going to be tough for you because the level is so much higher than, for example, like an amateur cyclist like myself. So that's the key thing. I think also, the other thing, I've set completely unrealistic goals in the past. Set your goals realistic. I'm 44 years old, there's no way I'm going to be able to do a 20-minute FTP test at 400 watts. Even when I was 18 or 20, I probably can't ever do that because I'm not good enough. What's the point of me setting those goals? I'm going to put so much pressure on myself. If I set them more realistic at 300 or 330, etc., they're probably more realistic. So set your goals realistic. If you want to do an Ironman in under 10 hours and you've done one before, you may be very lucky and be genetically gifted and done the right training, etc., and do it. But a lot of people I've seen in the past have this realistic goal each time they can't make it, so they get more and more annoyed and upset themselves. You must be realistic, you know. Set a realistic goal and make it achievable. And always, while you're on the way, are you achieving the goals? If you're not, you need to adjust the goal, the long-term goal. Short, medium, long-term goals are the key. And never be afraid to say to yourself, I can't achieve it. Okay. Also, mistakes. When you don't listen to your body, you think, oh, keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that. I can remember when I was 15 and 16, I did about 2 weeks of super high intense training, thought this was the way forward, knew absolutely nothing, and then got really ill. Because I'd done 2 weeks of high intense training, done some time trials, done some mountain bike races, went out with my mates, pushed myself too hard, ran out 3 times in one day, I remember this, and then spent the next 2 weeks in bed with a virus. So doing too much, you know, you need to listen to your body. You know, more technical side now, if you run a power meter or training peaks, look at your TSS. You know, is it giving you a massive negative? If it's showing -25, you're perhaps overtraining or you need to rest. You know, is your heart rate elevated when you train? Is your resting heart rate? If it's 5 to 10 beats out of the ordinary, you could be overtraining, you could be coming down with something as well. Personal feeling, if you feel aches and pains, then take a breather. You know, inadequate rest is the biggest mistake people make. I see it all the time. Even when I see people who are long-term athletes, often they do too much too soon. And I've been there as well down that. The other thing is, if you've got your own training session where you're a self-coach or you have a coach, don't cram the sessions in you set yourself with a coach yourself. I've seen it before where it comes the end of the week and they're 2 or 3 sessions down, so they try and cram them in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They do the sessions half-hearted, they're tired, and then Monday they're feeling guilty for not doing it. So don't try and cram the sessions in. If it's unachievable, change the plan. Don't do too much too soon. If you're just getting back from an injury or just starting up something or training for something, don't go over the top. It's not that you probably can't do it aerobically in fitness, it's the fact that your ligaments, joints, etc. need time to adapt, especially if you're swimming and running, because there's a lot of repetitive strain through the shoulders and knees, etc. Before you do any training, make sure you do some base fitness training. The biggest mistake is going in to do too much high intense training. It's like me at the moment, I'm very much base trained because I've had so many little niggles over the winter. If I came to a watt bike class and did nothing but high intense training, A, I'm going to be rubbish at it because I'm not trained for it. B, I risk getting injured because my body's not had time to adapt. And C, I've skimping on base training, so I'm not going to be good when it comes to racing because I've got no aerobic fitness. So don't do too much too soon, allow the body to adapt. The other key thing is be consistently training. If you do 1 week solid 12 hours, the next week 1 hour, week 3 6 hours, week 4 20 hours, it's all over the place. You must be consistent. If if you're going out every Sunday for 2 hours ride, over 12 weeks your body's adapted to 12 hours. If you're going out in consistency, missed it on Sunday, did 4 hours one Sunday, 50 minutes the other Sunday, it's all up and down, you're never going to get that consistency. And I know this from seeing my athletes, consistency pays off, especially in lockdown with no racing. They've done consistent training, and they're probably in the best shape they've been in a long time. Okay, they haven't got the top end racing, but their base fitness and aerobic fitness and muscular endurance is really, really impressive. And remember, make the training realistic to what you want. If you're not going to race, it doesn't matter. Go out and enjoy. If you want to cycle 50 miles, make it realistic. If you want to win a cycle race, you're going to have to train disciplines. You must make it realistic. You know, if it's your first ever cycle race, don't go with high expectations of winning it. The chances are, like when I did my first cycle race, I got spat out by the back of the pack and ended up cycling around on my own because I just wasn't ready for a cycle race. I hadn't trained specifically for it. I went with an attitude of, I'll be okay, I'll hang in there, I won't win it, I'll do it. But it was a real wake-up call, and the level of fitness was way above my pay grade. So what I took away from that was, I made the goals realistic, and I made sure I didn't make the mistake of wrong training and not having the pattern to build up to it. And that's how I did it. So the main thing to take away, the biggest mistake you can make is lack of preparation, unrealistic goals, too high expectations, also putting too much focus that you stop enjoying the sport. You must enjoy the sport. When you enjoy the sport, mentally and physically, you will excel at it, whether it's completing an event or whether it's winning. So there's a few bits for you to think about. Some of them you know already, some of you might think, oh, I didn't think about that, but just plan it out. You know, I've made all these things I've gone through here, I've made these mistakes in the past, and I know a bit of advice to you, you will hopefully avoid doing it or learn from it. So that's that done, guys. Enjoy your little video watch of this, and I will see you next session. Take care, bye bye.